Hello, good people of the internet. This is Jed from Your Guitar Academy. Today we're going to be looking at Born Under a Bad Sign by Mr. Albert King. Okay, so with the intro part of the song, there's a couple of ways you can think about it, but an easy way to think about it is we'll play the main riff, which is this. And we do that for 6 bars. And we have to remember that the beginning of the riff is a pickup. So it's 1, 2, do, do. So that's happening on the and of 2. So you've got 1 and 2 and. So that's where it comes in. So what I'll do is I'll play 6 bars of that riff. And then on the 7th bar, that's when we land on our 5 chord of the blues progression. So that'll be the 4th fret on the low E string. So that's an A flat 7. So I'll play the entire intro and then just talk about what it does after landing on that chord. So here we go. So 1, 2. Great, so when we do this ascending guitar part into our 5 chord, again we're there for a bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we go down to the 4 chord, so that's the 2nd fret, so that's an F sharp 7, and we're there for a bar as well, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go back to the riff. And then that's the end of the intro. So that would be essentially, you could think about it as like the 12th bar of the blues form. So it's like the beginning of the form is cut off. That's one way, another way of thinking about how the intro works. The form of this song is like a normal 12-bar blues, but there's a riff in it that slightly changes the way a blues progression would be played. So I'll go through that with you now. So we're going to be in the key of C sharp. And we're going to be in the 3rd minor pentatonic box position. So we're going to be down here on the 2nd and 4th fret. So I'll play the main riff again for you. So that goes like this. So that's the main riff in its entirety. So we're starting on the 4th fret of the A string. So we're in that 3rd minor pentatonic box position. So I'm starting here with my 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the A string. Then we're going to jump down to the 2nd fret on the low E string and climb up the pentatonic box shape. So that would be 2 on the low E string, then 4 on the low E string, 2 on the A string, 4 on the A string, then we land on 2 on the D string. So again from the top that sounds like this. And after that 2nd fret on the D string, we're landing back on the root note, which is that 4th fret on the A string. Great, 2nd part of the riff is very similar. So from the beginning, so the 2nd part of the riff, we're starting on that 2nd fret on the low E string. And we're climbing up the scale again, but only to the 2nd fret on the A string. So we've got 2nd fret on the low E string, 4th fret on the low E string, 2nd fret on the A string, and then we're hitting the open E string, the low one. So I believe that's the whole riff. So Cool. So that riff, that lasts for 2 bars. So that whole main riff is 2 bars long. If we're playing the entire 12-bar form, we're going to play that riff twice. So for 4 bars. So we'd have, that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So that's the 4 bars, so twice through that riff. Then it changes very slightly. Okay, so once we've gotten to the 5th bar of the 12-bar form, and we've played this riff, it's going to take us to that rising bit on the low E string, and we're going to land on bar 9, essentially. So this next part, this rising guitar part on the low E string, starts on the 1st fret and goes up chromatically. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we land on the 4th fret, and that's our 5th chord of the key. So that's an A flat 7. So that's the first chord essentially we have in the form. So again, I'll play from bar 5 up until bar 9. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So with that low rising guitar part here, it's happening on the offbeats in that bar. So the bar before is this. And then the last note of that is landing on beat 1 of bar 9. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So the last 4 bars of the 12-bar form, we're landing on the 4th fret of the low E string, so that's our A flat 7. And we're going to be there for a bar, so we're going 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then we're moving down to the 2nd fret, and so that's an F sharp there, so F sharp 7. So this is the 4 chord of the blues. We're going to be there for a bar. So the bar before, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back to the main riff that we did at the beginning. So the first 4 bars, which would sound like this. And then we've done the 12-bar form after that, so it would just repeat itself. So those are all the parts of the riff. I'm going to play the whole thing again, just so you can hear it in its entirety. So we have this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so hopefully all of that was useful and makes sense. If you've got any questions about kind of how do I play the blues form properly, we've got a blues course, and that'll be in the description below if you're interested in looking at that. We've also got an Albert King video with some licks. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.